Hi, my name's Joe of The Joe Show. I'm from Edmonton, and I get to perform in this beautiful city of ours. Yeah, I do magic, comedy, and ventriloquism shows, and I'm able to rub shoulders with some of the most amazing people. Join me in this show as we ask entertainers, puppeteers, professionals, and performers questions about how they got started, why they do what they do. Join us.
Take one. There we go. So my name is Rupert Appleyard. That's Rupert. And then Apple is Apple. It's Appleyyard. Yeah.
And what do you do? Like, what's your title?
Well, I'm a performing artist. I'm an entertainer.
Have you ever wondered what wonders you might find if you were to glimpse into the secret world of the fairies? My name is Fizzlewit, and I invite you to join me here in this enchanted forest and beyond, as I goes off in search of fairies, pixies, gnomes, goblins, trolls, and all sorts of fantastical creatures you probably never heard of. We'll explore this beautiful world together and go looking for secret trails and paths so that we might learn the weird and whimsical ways of the little people. Now, some folk might say that fairy tales is just for children. But I says whether you're 5 years old or 55 years old, it don't matter. Everyone could do with a little bit more magic in their lives. So grab your wizarding hat, hold on to your flippity flop, and be sure to subscribe for your next fairy finding adventure that is about to begin.
Many different hats.
Yeah, many different hats. Like this one.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, super excited to have you on the show. This is phenomenal. I've been able to be at a couple events and see you do things.
Yeah.
And you do everything from balloon twisting, which is like balloon sculpting, I should say.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, like actual life size, everything you name it, like paintings, things like that.
Yeah.
To fairy finding tours.
Fairy finding tours. That's right with me, Fizzle. It's funny actually, Joe, because I am a fairy finder, and that is part of my job. And you did mention I have lots of different hats. Well, today, actually, I'm going to do this is my normal voice, but Fizzlewit the fairy finder, he speaks like this, you see. And as it is about many different hats, and oh goodness, a fairy just fell out. Hang on a minute. Oh, let's put her up there. She's a false tooth fairy, that one. There you go. And look, I've got a special fairy finding hat for you to wear,
No way.
Joe. Yeah. I'll just sort her wings out at the same time. Yeah. A man of many hats.
This kind of reminds me of space. You know? There was like, there was a famous character. Spock.
That's the one. Yeah, I was thinking more Han Solo, but if you want to say
Spock had 3 ears. 3 ears, yeah, the right ear, the left ear, and the final frontier.
Less of those jokes. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
That's great.
I'm going to say. You now look exactly like the back of a $5 note in Canada.
Okay, yes, that's right. Exactly. I love it. That's great too. So is this helping me hear better? Or?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it makes you look good. Yeah, easier to pixie your nose.
Yeah, exactly. And so make sure you've got my profile. So I'm over ear.
So lots of hats.
Exactly.
Right,
You're getting a lot of material off me now, right?
I do. Very much so. Very much so. I mean, you look so great, and it's just good. I just think you look. It's so much easier to talk to me to you as a fairy finder.
Well,
when
being
you're
in the land of the fairies, I need to adapt, right? Because I don't want to scare them.
Well, there's no place like Nome, I'll tell you.
Exactly. Yes. That's right. There is. Exactly.
Yeah. So the first time, and the most times you've seen me, I have been doing balloon art. But I'm sure you know, as a performer, it's good to have a lot of strings to your bow. Yeah. Right. I started out as an actor, and that was really interesting. But from being an actor, it's hard to get work, right? Yeah. And my brother then came up with a circus. Okay. That he was a busker, and he had a circus, and the circus was it was a great small touring circus, but it needed a ringmaster. Yeah. So I became a circus ringmaster, from actor to circus ringmaster. Yeah. And then you find out when you're a circus ringmaster, a lot of people think you're just and just talk, and you can't do anything else.
So much more to it, though.
I learned lots of skills and lots of different hats to wear. Because do you know what? Look at the shape of me, Joe. Yeah. I want to eat, obviously. Yeah. I don't want to be thin and a starving artist. So I've got to find lots of things to do so I can afford to eat.
Yeah. Exactly. That's awesome. That's great. That's great.
It's very hard to take you seriously like that.
It is. Maybe I take it off now?
Oh, well,
No?
the ears are now attached permanently.
No,
You lift that off and you're going to like this. Your head now is the same shape. That's the problem with fairy magic, Joel.
Yeah.
You can take it off and feel more comfortable.
It's great. No, it's fine.
It comes with complimentary head lice.
Okay, appreciate it. That's good too. Yes, exactly.
There yours. You keep them forever now. Oh,
He
that
made
was
that
Boris.
hat from scratch. That's right. Right from scratch.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's good.
I'll put this back in here. Hopefully, no more toenail fairies are going to fall out.
Yeah, exactly. That's good.
Look at that. You know what? She hasn't got as much money as a tooth fairy. You know.
Okay, this is the no
Yeah, this is Flossie.
Flossie,
the
okay.
false tooth fairy.
False tooth.
And she don't give you money for your
Okay.
teeth.
Yeah.
No, she just gives you her bad breath.
You know,
That's right.
always be true to your teeth, or they will be false to you.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah. You sit down there,
Yeah.
my dear. That's
Yeah.
proper lovely shit.
Yeah. I often thought they shouldn't actually call them X-rays.
No.
They should call them toothpicks. Huh? It's right there. You know, it's it's
Yeah.
Oh man, we've started this. This is really
I hope there's some dads watching this because we writing these jokes down.
exactly. That's right too. This is awesome. That's good too. So, how did you get into performance?
Well,
Performing, yeah.
I got into performance because
Yeah.
I was an actor.
Okay, yeah.
And then my brother started he was a busker.
circus, okay.
And do you know what? It's a funny, I think things happen for a reason. My brother, right, he had a PA, you know, not personal assistant, one of those personal amplification systems.
Yes, yeah.
And he was busking all around Europe.
What?
On his way back,
Yeah.
he decided to exchange this PA
Yeah.
for a circus tent that was in a farmer's field.
Okay.
And suddenly he had a circus tent.
Really?
And it took him years to get it up on the road, but
Okay.
once he had a circus on the road, he wanted someone with a big mouth.
Oh, okay.
And that person with a big mouth to be the ringmaster was me. So I
that's
became
it.
a ringmaster in his circus.
Okay, so
And
that's the thing.
I
Got
learned
it.
magic,
Got
and then
it.
I learned escapology. I was used to hang up by my feet from the top of the circus in a
Oh, you did some of that too?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they used to, because my brother was a clown and I was the ringmaster, and I was
Yeah.
an evil ringmaster
Okay.
called Flash.
Okay, nice.
He used to put a custard pie underneath the straitjacket to make it more difficult. You know, up the
Yeah,
difficulty.
yeah,
Like something
exactly.
like sharks, I had custard pies.
Okay.
And then I became a busker.
Wow.
I became a street entertainer
Wow.
because, you know, it's a funny thing being a street entertainer, and I had no money.
Yeah.
And that's how I got good at balloons. And balloons then took me all around the world.
Wow.
And it's been a wild ride. And then
Yeah.
other things, you pick up other things. It's just a very interesting performance art, and art in itself is a very interesting medium because it's a bit like, I don't know, let's say the Avengers.
Yeah.
You know, Marvel, the Avengers,
Yeah, yeah.
right? How they all have different superpowers.
Yeah.
But when you work in a circus or you work at a festival like I'm
Yeah.
working with you,
Yeah.
that's what it's like in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a bit like Hulk and
Yes.
Iron Man. Everyone has
Captain
a
America.
superpower that's
Yeah.
slightly different,
Yeah,
right?
that's a good
so
analogy.
Who would you be if you were one of the Avengers?
I would like to take Captain America,
Yeah.
and I would like to take the Hulk, and I would combine them.
Oh,
Star Spangled Banner.
oh,
Yeah,
you,
so, yeah.
you thought about it. I thought, there's me. I'm going to put Joe on
Yeah,
the spot.
I think
No,
that's-
you thought about it.
Hey, this is what you get. So
Star
it's good.
Spangled Banner.
Yeah, I
That's
think
pretty
that's
good.
it's a combination of both.
Oh,
so,
yeah, I
it's
like
good too.
it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. It kind of smashed them.
Yeah,
together,
exactly.
doesn't it?
Exactly.
lovely.
Yeah. So exactly. Too. Or I could be Iron Man and maybe the what is who's the Steel guy? What's the other guy?
Steel
It's
guy.
the Silver Surfer.
Oh, so, well, cool. You're
Yeah,
going for
yeah,
the
yeah,
powers,
definitely.
aren't you?
Well, we could be alloys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. All right, this is really going really
That is good.
That's good.
That
That's good.
one's
Okay,
good.
That's great. Thank you. That's right too. Oh man.
Oh, you've thought about these. You really
You're
have.
putting me on the spot is what's
Yeah,
happening.
no, I will. I'm not. Great, lovely. So, what's your origin story? Alloy man.
Alloy man.
He's got very shiny wheels.
I will
on his
foil your
supercar.
plans. Foil your plans. That's right. Foil the bad guys. I know. For me, I got into performing because I stuttered during my teen years, right? So I took speech therapy, and it was a way to just overcome my shyness and stuff, right? So I got into clowning and then the Joe Show and stuff too as well, and puppetry and ventriloquism, and I am where I am today. So
Well, that's cool.
yeah,
And you find,
coming over your hurdles and boundary,
Yeah.
barriers that you might have, but
I would never have guessed you were stuttering when
No,
you were younger, right?
yeah.
So it goes to show how important
Yeah.
things like performing can be
Yeah.
in so many ways.
yeah, exactly.
In so
too, right?
many ways. Actually, my character, because this character Fizzlewit, he says everything kind of backwards and all rooms different ways.
Okay, yeah.
And I actually had a young lad in Alberta came up to me and he says, I go to speech therapy as well. Yeah. And that floored me because I never communicated that in my head about this character, that he speaks differently. Like that's just how he is.
Maybe that relates to
and this
kids.
kid, it really related to him, and I thought that's wonderful. Yeah. So hopefully for this kid, it was a bit of a role model, and I went, oh yes, it's wonderful, and then wonderful that you can do such a thing, and feel, but it was a flooring, a very humbling moment for a second. Right?
It's great too. So have there been any hurdles for you that you've had to come over?
Overcome? Lots. Lots. Mainly poverty. Mainly poverty. But do you know what? I think that hurdles, they make you who you are.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. There's the old story, isn't there, about the butterfly.
Yeah.
And there's the lady, and she watches butterflies grow. And every year she sees the little caterpillar, and it comes out of goes into its chrysalis, and then it comes out as a butterfly, and it flatters away. Then one year, this caterpillar is struggling to get out of its chrysalis, so she takes a knife and she cuts the chrysalis a little bit. And the butterfly's wings come out, but they're a bit drab, and it can't fly. And that's because butterflies need that struggle to make the capillaries in their wings fill, and then they can fly. So for me, it's the same thing. I have had a lot of hurdles, right? I didn't come from money. I know my brother's circus tent, it seems very exotic. But no, I became a balloon twister because I couldn't afford to eat. My friend said, you can make balloons. Well, I can make a balloon flower.
But has this been the only job you've ever known? Like circus things? Or no, you didn't have
I've swept the streets, I've worked in factories or plants, as you call them over here, not actually plants. Flowers. I worked in flowers. I've been a fishmonger. You know what? But I wanted to be like a Hollywood bad guy, right?
Yeah.
That didn't happen. Instead, I've gone on to work with families all over the world and meet people like yourself that I wouldn't have met before. And so hurdles, yes, lots and lots of hurdles. Even so much as the fact you can tell from my accent. I'm not from here. I'm from the UK, right?
Okay,
so one thing that I've done is, because my wife is Canadian, I had to relocate. So I've been pretty good in my career. I've set myself up in the UK. And then I relocated to Canada, and then I relocated to the Dominican Republic, and then I relocated back to Canada. So if you imagine starting a business,
that's right.
You go, I've got my publicity done, I'm well known enough that people are starting to employ me, and then, I'm going to move. And now I've got to do something to make a big splash, and it becomes hard, right? It becomes hard to do
over again.
So it is a hurdle, but you know what? Hurdles make you stronger. They really do.
They do.
They do, and as you said yourself, you've had hurdles. So
exactly too.
I think it all helps make you the person you are, and it makes you a much better rounded performer.
Yeah, exactly. And I even get to do like an anti-bullying program in schools, which is great. Talk about heroes, cool. And I mean it's cool, right? Being able to relate to people, because you never would have thought that I could be doing this, right? Because in my, it's just it's something too. So,
but that's so cool.
It's neat, right?
Because people need it as well.
Exactly.
I'm really happy to hear that. It's a lovely way to give back as well.
So, thank you. Yeah. And I mean, the other thing you got into performing, because I have 9 children.
Yeah.
So I was doing birthday parties full time at my house, right? So it's like I'll do birthday parties too. So
But with balloons, that's often a way that people get into balloon twisting. Because now I've gone all over the world and taught all over the world.
Yes.
You find out all these different origin stories from different balloon artists all over the world. And one that happens quite a lot is that someone picks up balloons because they're trying to make balloons for their kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And they go, this is actually quite therapeutic or addictive. And then maybe another parent says, I saw you make a balloon at this party. Can you make one for me? Can you come to my kid's party? And it just spirals.
Exactly.
It's great.
Yeah, be like trying stuff that's new. I think sometimes too, right? Being outside the box. Now I'm going to try these things out. And I love that idea of performing too. That there's so many different venues and things, and just experiment. Just don't stick to one thing.
Well, that's right.
It's fun to sometimes branch out and see where it's going to take you, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this craziness.
Yeah. Well, I'm tell me more about your costume. Like, what do you wear? What you wear?
Fizzlewit the Fairy Finder. A few years ago, I was at Edmonton Street Performance Festival, and they used to get me in to make big balloons because that's what I was known for. And then we had there wasn't space. For the balloons one year, they changed the big tent and it became an open tent. And so they said, we want you to rove, which is another thing that I've done. And it just so happened, I went, I've got a wizard costume. I'll be a wizard.
Yeah.
And he had this big beard and it was purple and it wasn't quite right. But I had this idea. It's a terrible idea, really. My idea was originally that this guy was hunting fairies. He was hunting. Oh, you can go and hunting fairies. You haven't seen any around here, have you? Oh. And I wasn't going to do this. So, like, you can imagine what.
I'm sorry, my head's.
I know, no, but have you seen this?
There's Tinkerbell. She's
exactly.
She never lands. Never lands.
It's hilarious. That's right.
Never lands. Yeah.
Never lands. Yeah, but have you seen there's a Monty Python sketch where they're hunting mosquitoes, and I just thought the same thing would be hilarious because I used to play like the guy in the pith helmet with the big moustache, and that was originally going to be him. But I played this character, and I wasn't going to do that voice. I wasn't going to go here like Hagrid, but this is the voice that naturally came for him. And I put little plastic fairies. That was the first one. Put them in the trees. And just did it as a roving character, and started off. I had the beard attached to the hat, so I'd turn the hat around, and you have a beard or long hair. Just you find all these little bits of business, right? And then we went to North Battleford.
Okay.
And in North Battleford, I had a bit of time and had a bit of money in my pocket, so I started buying little gnomes from the shops and little fairies. And there was this beautiful big garden, and I said to the producer, Shelley Switzer, I said, would you mind terribly if I made this little tour? I've got this idea to do a little fairy tour, and that's where it came. And it's been, I'm into my 6th year now, and it's grown, and instead of going and buying fairies, I now make fairies. And they've got their own YouTube channel now. I go looking for them on YouTube. And they've been in the International Children's Festival in Northern Alberta. We even started I made a geocache for them, so they've got a permanent installation of this geocache gremlin now. And it's phenomenal, and it's taught me a lot about production of video. I started getting into video production and editing and making the fairies come more to life.
And sometimes like necessity doing that too, because I know for me, like when COVID hit, my shows are done, right? So what do? I started making farm safety shows for the Alberta Agricultural Society. And they approached me.
Because you didn't have all your eggs in one basket.
Right. And so I came up. Yeah, exactly. You got it. The yoke's on you. Okay. Shall we continue? So I came up with the EI Joe show. I know. And I've got some farm safety material, and that's what I did, because, you're thinking, what am I going to do, right? I'm a dad. I got to support my kids. And so I made some TV shows and farm safety shows, and that's what I did, right? And so that helped. But
that was the thing, we all had to pivot, and we all had to change where we were going. And me too, I'd just gone off and I've been teaching at the world's largest magician convention in the UK, and I'm talking to all these fancy magicians wearing a suit, obviously you wouldn't think it looked like me now, trying to be fancy. And then this hits, and suddenly all your live work is gone. And you go, what am I going to do? So I started doing little bits for CTV, and in their morning show they'd have little slots 2 a week. That's a lot of work. And building all these balloons and stuff like that. But then I went, you know what, I really love my fairy thing I've been doing, and I think it's got more life to it than people think. So let's take it a slightly different way. Funny thing is, you mentioned being a farmer. When I first came to Alberta,
I wasn't a farmer, but
still farm shows. I tried to be a farmer. That was my first character in Alberta that I played, because I noticed there were people doing the eccentric explorer here. But the farmer stereotype is so different here in Canada to what it is in the UK. It was a really strange thing. I bought this costume, it didn't feel right, because I had a farmer character called Seth. Hello, I'm Seth. And he was very. But that's
were you looking like for a wife and had to track her down?
Don't you wish your farmer was?
That's right.
He was a strange character. But so it didn't work here. I didn't have the same stereotype or the same idea of what a farmer is, right? So I went to being, I can't remember what I did next. I think to my zombie butler. Zombie butler or to the steampunk time traveller. That's where
nice.
So
it's just a lot of different creativity. Well, that's what I love, is like you're outside the box, right? You're not just your typical performer. Like when I saw you first doing the fairy tours, I'm like, this is something unique that's not done. And I think that if you can find something that's not done in the performing world, not only is it something different, but you also get to charge, and then there's no comparison, right?
Right.
Because if you're a magician, You know, everybody looks at a birthday magician and they charge the same price. Oh, this guy's $75 cheaper. We'll go with him. But if you're different, you know, I've got my ventriloquism with a 6-foot ostrich, right? Yeah, it's different, right? So people are like, okay, well, he's a magician, but he's got something else to offer, right?
Yeah, I think that's definitely the case. Sometimes it can be hard.
Yeah.
Like for balloon art, as you say, everyone's balloon art.
Yeah, and they Google it and they know where to find it.
They know what it is.
They don't know. They're not Googling fairy finding tours. Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
So explaining what a fairy finding tour is, I mean, probably your viewers don't even know what one is, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I was thinking maybe this guy at the bottom. I don't know if you can maybe tell me about him. Like,
can I get him for you, Joe?
Yeah, would that be okay? I would love to maybe look at him. I think that's probably one of the unique.
I'll move the
unique
butterfly
ones.
king.
Yeah, okay.
This one's funny. He's
okay
for a festival.
Yeah.
This here, he be what's known. Let me come and sit on my seat.
For sure.
This fella here.
Do I put her back here?
Oh,
maybe?
she can go. Yeah, you go over there, Floss. You don't cause no trouble over there.
Okay, let's get to.
Now this fella here, he be what's known as a not yeti.
Not yeti.
That's right, a not yeti. You see, look at that. His calendar over there. It's set to 1951. She should probably change that, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
You know what he says? Not yeti. That's right, you see. And look at that. His bed's a bit too short for him. He probably could do with changing his bed. You know what he says? Not yeti. See, the not yeti is the laziest of the yeti family. He probably should stop hibernating. I mean, we're getting to spring now, summer. You know what he says?
Not yeti.
It's one joke. It's one joke. But, you know, so this little fella here, if we were on a fairy finding tour, he would have a clue. And what I do is I get big groups of kids and their families. Yeah. So, and we go looking on this magical
like a trail or whatever, right? And you hide them out throughout the trail. On the corner.
The first guy's the butterfly king.
Okay.
And you'll notice he looks very sad.
Yeah.
Because he's missing his daughter.
Okay.
And his daughter's gone wandering off, and it becomes a whole stranger danger story. And we're going looking for them, and kids solve puzzles, and it culminates with all the kids and all the parents singing "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star," which is a really lovely, silly thing because you know people don't expect to be singing a nursery rhyme, but it's really magical. It really bonds children and parents together, and the parents, I think they get as much from it as the kids because they get to see their kids believing in fairies. And some
it's
of
almost like back to a second childhood too, because you get to relive things, right?
Right, so, and some of these fairies move and things change about them the second time you see them. Like the fairy king at the end of the tour is smiling.
Okay.
So he's sad now, but he's smiling, and that really just starts to play with people's heads. And they go, well, how did that happen? And
well, it's great that you can play with kids' imagination as well. So you're not just entertaining, but you're giving them the idea of imagination.
Do you know what? We were talking about Marvel superheroes. Yeah. That's my superpower. And I think it's the most important superpower. Imagination.
Nice.
Because everything that's man-made or lady-made or it's all from someone's imagination.
Yes.
Right? So everything in the world is from someone's imagination, and that is my superpower. I have a superpowered imagination. Which is great, isn't it? Shall I put you back? What's that? Yeah, he wants to go back to sleep. Look, it's not time to get up.
Yet he never complains.
Yeah, not. That's right. Yeah, he never complains. That's an abominable joke right there. You put your big foot in it there, didn't you?
I did it right. So that's right too. That's awesome. That's great. If you could pass on some advice, what is the worst advice you've ever had? Mm-hmm. And then what's the best advice you can give to a new performer and to a seasoned performer? So
it's kind of three questions. It would be the same.
Yeah. Worst advice?
Worst advice. Worst advice is listen to what I'm going to say. All right. No, worst advice is dumb down for an audience. That's the worst advice. People are always saying, "Oh, it's a kid. Let's dumb it down. They won't understand."
How are you? And are you happy to be here? What's your name?
Not true. It's always a surprise.
It's false, and they see it.
They see it, and they know you're patronising.
Yeah, it's a facade.
That's right. So don't dumb down for people.
I love it.
Best advice. Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Be yourself. Well, unless you're being someone else. But then be yourself being someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Every person in the world has a unique song to sing. Right? Now, my song is this and balloons. Yeah. Your song is your ventriloquism puppets.
Yeah, right.
Other artists you've had on, I'm sure, have unique songs.
Exactly.
And no one else in the world can sing that song like you can.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the most important thing, I think. And I think that's one of the wonderful things about the performing arts is it allows you to sing your own song, right? We all have different unique strengths and skills and flaws, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, so...
You might sing high C or low C or loud C.
Loud C.
You know, it doesn't matter, right?
That's me. You've heard my singing.
So, but take it and make it your song, right?
Yeah, I actually have a character. Actually, you've met Elderberry, haven't you? Elderberry, the Christmas elf.
I think so, yes.
When we worked at Christmas. Yeah. And I used to do this thing. I don't want to break the microphone, but I deliberately sing really badly. He's a really bad singer. And I would hype up this song that he'd do, and he'd sing it along to the Christmas music that's going on in the background. And he'd go, oh, here it comes. And it's brilliant. Every time I would just love it. My wife even gets me still to do it in the car when we're driving along.
That's great.
I don't think she enjoys it, but she
gets me to do it. That's awesome. Oh, wow, that's great. It's great. What is your most prized possession?
That's a hard one, right?
Yeah, it is. I know. It's narrowed it down. It's like
prized possession. Right now, it's an odd one because it changes, right? At one point, this little fella, my hand-built pump, was my most prized possession. At one point, my wizarding hat, that was my most prized. Not now. I could tell you a funny story about that. Recently, I was out in the rain, and it was really raining on me, and I started noticing I had all this brown coming down my face, and this thing was leaking oils, and it was horrible. But actually, right now, my most prized possession was my Christmas present, which is my new laptop.
Okay.
Which seems a very strange thing for a performer to say. Yeah. But I've struggled for the last year with a really old, terrible laptop. I'm trying to edit on it. It's crashing and just the worst times, right? Yeah. And you're trying to, with YouTube, you're always trying to beat a deadline and all stuff I do. And so, I hate to say it, my new laptop. Technology-wise is now my prized possession.
That's awesome. No, that's great too. That's great too.
It's for somebody who makes sculptures and things. You think, oh, it's the clay I use.
Yeah, it's not a sculpture I've created that I'm never going to be able to do again. No, it's something you can buy in a store.
Welcome to 2020.
That's right. The technology. That's awesome. If you could pick a song of your career, like of your life, it would be sum up in a song or like theme song.
Yeah. There is a song, actually, and it's not one that many people know. I was trying to think of what kind of theme song I might use. Little Stars, exactly. There isn't a song, Don't Hire This Guy, but there should be. So there's a song from the musical Barnum, and it's called The Colours of My Life.
Okay.
And it's all about, and I sing it to my little boy, who's 4 at the moment, and it's all about the colours of P.T. Barnum's life. They're all colourful and gold and rainbow colour, and those colours are the light that he's going to shine on, so that he can lead his loved ones through the dark days. Wow. So that, I was thinking, I could say loads of silly things for this, like always look on the bright side of life, I suppose.
No, it's great.
But that would probably be if there was a movie of my, and the movie of my life would probably be quite a low budget movie, and I bet they could get that song for cheap.
There you go. So you told me you recently switched colors in your costume.
Yeah.
Why would you like you have something going for you, it works, and all of a sudden you're switching?
I know. So this would normally be green, right? Yeah. It's the first time I've worn this. Performer's costume is very important. It's how you define yourself, and it's what sets you apart from the other people walking
from the average show,
from the average show.
No pun intended. No. So I get it.
But it is. It's what sets you apart. It's how you're recognised, and it's how people know that I'm just not some strange person who's come in and is just trying to lure into a weird forest.
For me, it's my puppets that tell me apart, so I don't really need
But so if I was balloon twisting it, it'd be gold braid. Just it doesn't look like a balloon twister, but it yet again sets me apart from other balloon twisters. But as a fairy finder, I originally it was purple, and it just wasn't right. And I went to greens and browns. Everything's been greens and browns. But now I'm doing and socks. And different coloured socks, and different shoes. That's very important. Very important to have different shoes on each foot. You got to do that, and I've got a pair of the same the other way around.
Exactly the other way around.
But that's very important. That really defines his character. But this would normally be green.
Okay.
So this Christmas, I started using more chroma key, which is a big green screen behind me.
Got it.
And I thought, you know what, this is going to make my life really difficult. This lovely green tabard. So I just got a new fancy black tabard. I feel a bit James Bond today. Yeah, do you think so? No.
Oh, you're looking good.
Yeah, looking good. So I feel for me it feels a bit like a tuxedo. But you're the first person I've worn this for.
Okay.
License to kill.
I think you look kind of James Bondish. I see the grey hairs.
What?
You had no time to die. No time to
No time to die.
So, I'm sorry. We just. That's right.
It's great. No, it's good. That's good.
Yeah,
You're good with these,
well, thank you.
Why do you like these jokes so much? Where do they come from? Have you got a joke book? Or
I'm basically, it's dad jokes.
Dad jokes? Good.
And the difference between a normal joke and a dad joke is that dad jokes are fully grown. That's how you know. So
and you get a full grown at the end of it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I know. I've always been very, very quick because growing up as a kid stuttering, and then I actually had an inner ear problem in my younger ages, so I couldn't ride a swing set. I had vertigo, and then I wore leg braces too as a really little kid. And so if I got teased, I found that humor was a way to diffuse, things from coming at me, and maybe taking the hurt or stuff too that came at me, I could make jokes out of it.
Fast with
and
dad
so
jokes,
it's
you're like an encyclopedia of dad jokes. But not only that, you're like someone turning to the page, going, "This one, Joe. This one. He mentioned feet.
That's right.
Oh, it's a feat of engineering. Yeah, look, and it's like that quick. It's automatic. Like, I've never met anything like it. It's incredible. Like, the supercomputer.
That's right.
Your brain is a supercomputer.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just the way it is.
I'm scared of what I'm going to say to you next because I don't know what's coming out. Like, I'm waiting for some supercomputer joke now.
That's right.
It's good. It's great.
It's great.
It's a superpower.
Thank you.
Star Spangled Banner. There you go. It's superpower. Super fast jokes.
And it's just, So I've always been really quick and just think of things and stuff, and it's just the way I put things together.
It's
so
really great.
Yeah, it's I don't know if my wife and my kids love it as much as I do, but in all due respect, I do hear my kids are repeating some of my jokes to their friends and to their teachers.
Oh, that's good.
So even though at home they groan and they say, "Dad, please stop," it's outside,
They're just practicing.
Exactly. It's what I do. That's what I do.
Do you know what to say to them? People pay for this.
Yeah.
Right? You give them your hourly rate.
Exactly.
Like pocket money. They can pay you to do the dad joke.
Exactly. So that's good. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great too. So, this has been so delightful and just fun, and I really appreciate that. Let's do the 2 truths and a lie.
2 truths and a lie.
So you got 3 stories. I had to guess which one's false.
Okay.
This has been a little bit tricky. So
it is tricky actually, and they're performing stories, right?
Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
Let's see. Because I was thinking about this, and I was going to use some of the stuff I've already told you.
Oh, there you go.
So that's a problem, obviously. But is that a truth or a lie?
It was all in the character.
It's all in the character. Okay, let's see. How many lies? Oh, one lie, right? And 2 truths.
Yeah, that's right. They're all lies.
Okay, so when I first met my wife, I was making Angelina Jolie's face out of balloons.
Okay.
That's one.
Whew. Well, that's okay.
Okay.
Man. How do you... There's no follow-up question with that. Right? All the other people I can ask questions
about. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a second. It's gone.
It's good.
I once auditioned to be the Burger King wearing the big Burger King mask. I didn't get it though.
Okay.
I've got another one. One of my first jobs as an actor was being a GPS. So I was one of the first GPSs, but I never got taken as a GPS.
So like the voiceover or what?
Well, no, I was actually sitting in the car. I was actually sitting in the car going like this, go this way, go that way. No, it's the voice joke.
Oh, the voice.
Yeah, so there you go. So that's your 3.
It was before Uber was there.
Before Uber.
You go over there. Over
you got
there,
Rupert.
Over here. Uber here, Uber there.
Rupert positioning satellite. Go left, go right. So I was a voice. It was a demo. Of GPS and what it could do back in the early late 90s.
Oh, this is. I think this is probably the toughest one. I think this is probably the toughest one.
There's
Angelina Jolie's
Jolie's face out of balloons, and there's a Burger King audition.
I don't think the Burger King is a whopper of a lie. So do that one. All right. I'm going to say Angelina Jolie because it just seems to. I mean, it might be somebody else's face. Yeah. Maybe you did like Marilyn Monroe or something's face or something. Yeah.
I thought about that actually. Yeah? I thought about that should be the lie, that I should change the face to someone else because then it'd be convincing.
Yeah. But that's the lie.
No, that's not the lie. That's the truth. I did actually make.
You did? Okay. There you go. Okay. I just thought maybe it's
balloons in the Dominican Republic, and that's how I met my wife. I was doing very strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was very strange, and that was the day I met her, and then
Okay.
Yeah. So, do you want to know what the line is, or should we keep it?
Is it the Burger King? The Burger King one.
Yes.
Okay. Whopper of a lie.
Whopper of a lie.
I should go with it. It's so obvious.
I could be James Bond. You didn't get it out of me.
That's right.
Nice.
That's great.
So, Burger King. I've never been Burger King. Why would you want to cover this lovely face with a mask?
Yeah.
Well, actually, a lot of people have. Actually, when I worked for AMC, the funny thing is I had this big balloon, and it was in the premiere of The Walking Dead, and I was there making these big balloons in it, and they never once showed my face, which means it was too scary for The Walking Dead.
There you go, That's awesome.
Terrible.
Well, this has been absolutely amazing. I really appreciate it. I mean, we could talk for hours, but we do have to end.
I really talk for hours.
You don't have to go.
Stop.
We don't have to go, but you can't stay
But
here.
you can't talk any longer.
That's right.
All right. There's not enough air in the room, Rupert.
Yeah. Well, this has been absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been great.
Lovely to learn about you as well.
Thank you very much.
You're here learning about everyone else, so it's nice to know a bit more about you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it too. So thank you for asking the questions.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a great episode. I tell you, I learned so much. What amazing advice and information. I want to leave you with the thought of the day today, and the thought is this. Never look at something just as it is. See what else it could be. Be unique. You know, the greatest thing about performing is you can be as unique as you want. You can make it as crazy, as funny, basically let your imagination run wild. And if you take an object, just don't perform it just as it is right out of the box or doing a trick or some of that too. Think of it, different possibilities of what you could do with it, and have fun with it and run with it, because that sets you apart. And when you are set apart, people will book you.